The internet has been completely and utterly ruined, as has computer use. It's completely and utterly ruined. Design has gone out of the window, and it's just unusable crap. I can't use it anymore. Every single time I try to do anything on the internet, it's a nightmare. The internet used to be a helpful tool that you could use, and now it's chaos. It's complete chaos. Web design is not focused on the user. It's focused on how to manipulate the user. It's disgusting. It's like every time I touch the internet, every time I even programs now, anything I touch has been made disgusting by developers developing in look, what the hell is going on in these people's heads? The feedback they give you, you touch something, you move your cursor near something, you don't need it to flash, change shape, and irritate. You don't need that feedback. You don't need it. I don't want it. All I want to do is watch the screen and see the information in front of me. I don't need you to ram useless feedback into my eyeballs. I don't need it. I don't want it. Nobody needs it. If I click on something, I've got the button changing shape, the symbol on it changing shape, and then I've got a word coming up telling me what's happened, and then somewhere else on the screen there'll be something else telling me the same information. So 4 different things trying to say the same thing. Why? Because developers are out of their minds. You can't use the internet anymore. It's just chaos. And it's all because they have a complete and utter wall between them and the user, and that's the problem with developers. Right? Developers. What's a developer? A programmer. And they don't want anyone telling them what to do, apparently. They don't want to obey the rules of producing something for the user. They want to produce something to manipulate the user. This can't go on. It's chaos. The internet used to work. It used to be fine. Things were simple, and now it's just a convoluted mass of crap that you can't use anymore. It's disgusting. Like every time I use it, it makes you want to puke. And it didn't used to be this way. Yeah, you might have had to do things in a more long-winded way, but all this everything done for you nonsense, it's got to stop. It's got to be stopped. It's become crazy. How on earth is an adult human being supposed to use the internet now without having their intelligence completely and utterly insulted with every move they make, and having political propaganda rammed down their throats at every turn? Oh, you've got to do this, you've got to see the world this way. But no, I don't have to see the world that way. I don't see it that way. I will never see it that way, because it's all a big lie. Who's behind this? I know who's behind it, but you can't say who's behind it. More and more people are going to figure out eventually what the game is, what is really going on. But in the meantime, the systems that we're trying to use simply don't work for us, because the developers aren't listening. They're just saying, we know best. They've literally decided, they've switched off. Even if they could listen, they've switched it off, and they're saying, we're not going to listen. We're not going to listen, and we don't care what you say. You'll have it the way we develop it, because we're developers, we know best. I'm sorry, Mr. Developer, you don't know best. You know worst, because you've ruined the internet. And I say this to each and every single developer who is alive, because you're all responsible for this problem. And if some of you are doing the right thing and trying to get back normality, good for you. But I'm sorry, the vast mainstay seem to be in a complete dream, and they're ruining what was a functional tool. I don't need it to have all these bells and whistles all over it, because all they do is get in the way. A tool, if you look in any man's toolbox, tools are functional, and that is it. You will never find a spanner in a man's toolbox with any decoration on it. You know why? Because it doesn't need any decoration on it. It doesn't need, the man using it doesn't need to be told at every second of his use of the thing, you're using a spanner. The spanner is doing this now. The spanner's doing that. That's not how reality works. But the idiots who are designing programs nowadays are just out of their minds, and they're basically implying that the human is a complete vegetable with no intelligence at all. Well, first of all, if someone was in that condition, they wouldn't be using the internet. They wouldn't be using a computer because they couldn't. And the truth is that people have the intellect and the intelligence to work things out. Don't treat them as though they're all stupid. Okay? Because that's what developers are doing now. I don't need to be told 4 different ways that something has happened on the program or the website that I'm using. I don't need that. Nobody needs it. So developers, right now, stop what you're doing. Get your heads out of your backsides and start thinking and start communicating with users. Don't work on statistics. Oh, well, so many people like this. We've created this thing and we've decided that so many people like it. They don't like it. They hate it. But you're too stupid to listen. You're too arrogant. You're too into yourself to listen. And you've got to listen, guys. Or else you won't be able to fix the problem. And it's enormous. And everyone can see it. And you're all just carrying on and on and on because you've been taught that way by more morons wherever you learned your craft. They're all teaching you exactly the wrong thing to do. Leave things simple. When I go on a website, I literally don't care how it looks. In fact, the more effort you put in to making it look the less I want to use it. And I bet you most people are the same. They couldn't care less what your website looks like, provided it gives them what they want. People don't go, oh, that website looks nicer than this one, I'll use that one. They don't do that. They say, can I get what I want out of this website easily? And with all of your aggravated nonsense that you've added to it, if you make your website more complicated because you think it looks pretty, they will go to the other competitor's website. And you'll be sitting there thinking, oh, we need to do more. We need to do more to attract. No, you are repelling people with what you're doing. The opposite is true, and you blind idiots are just carrying on making the problem worse and worse and worse. It's amazing watching you people do this. You've ruined the internet. You've ruined programming. You've got this weird fixation that someone must have come up with in a university somewhere who thought they were brilliant. The more you can do for the user, the more the user will like it. No. The less you can do for the user, the more the user will like it. Because if you try to do everything for someone, you irritate them. It's like if you're trying to do a job and someone's leaning over your shoulder saying, you've got to do it that way, you've got to do it that way. Sooner or later, you're going to grab that person, break them in half and throw them away. You have to understand, when you're designing something, leave the user alone. Leave them alone. Don't do it all for them, and certainly don't abuse that position to ram advertising in their face or ram other things in their face. You stupid, idiotic fools. Nothing in the world is going to make people run away from your product faster than if you try to ram it in their faces. You stupid fools. Imagine this, if there were 2 shops, right, selling exactly the same stuff, and the person and when you tried to go into one shop, you had people jumping out at you, hitting you in the face with things, and then the other shop, they just relaxed and let you come in. Which shop are you going to go in, you idiots? And that's exactly what you need to understand about web design. Leave the user absolutely alone. You are abusing your position and you don't realize what you're doing. Not only are you repelling people from your website, you're also ruining the internet for everyone on the planet with your stupidity. This is the absolute truth that you're hearing right now. You have to listen to this. I don't know how to get this message across to you idiots. You just carry on and on and on and on and on. You've ruined the internet, you morons. Stop what you're doing. Listen and just leave the thing alone.